Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A grim recovery effort put on hold due to dangerous conditions.
For us as firefighters working under a wobbly, potentially collapsing exterior wall is extremely dangerous.
Meantime, the death toll from a fire that tore through a California warehouse rises to 36. The question, should people have even been in there in the first place? Plus, filling his cabinet, Donald Trump taps Detroit native Dr. Ben Carson for Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development after reportedly turning down an offer to be nominated for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Will Carson be accepting this offer? And no more delays. At this hour, Michigan's presidential recount is about to get underway. And that does top our news this noon. This is new video of those voting ballots that are being brought into the building where the process is happening. And this is in Oakland County, where our Guy Gordon arrived a short time ago. Guy is scheduled to get underway at noon. How does the process appear to be going so far?
It is chaotic right now. I mean, this all happened at midnight when the federal district judge came down with his ruling right around midnight, and then they began scrambling, trying to find the volunteers and the poll workers. Take a look. They've set up tables here to check in the poll workers as they arrive. These are county clerk workers here in Oakland County. Just beyond that, you've got both parties checking in their poll watchers. Those are the people that will be actually sorting through and counting the ballots, overseen by the Secretary of State. And so they're checking in their people. But take a look. As you said, the ballots arrived from the storage facility. They've been under seal since the election night count. And those seals will be broken. Those ballots will be recounted overnight. They will be watched both in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb by security guards so that there is no concern there. Of course, all of this underway because a federal district judge, as I said, at midnight ruled in favor of the Jill Stein campaign, saying that irreparable harm would be done if this recount was delayed. Today they called that a victory for vote integrity.
We began to work with election officials, and after we did that, the forces of opposition and resistance marshaled against us. Donald Trump was a chief proponent of that effort. His representatives and his surrogates have were attempting to shut down the process in Michigan. And he heard all of the arguments from the Trump campaign about why that should be obstructed. And after midnight, last night, he issued an order requiring that the vote proceed in Michigan.
Now, the GOP has responded to that by saying that this is nothing but a $5 million fishing expedition for the Loch Ness Monster. Those are the words of Ron Romney McDaniel, the chairman of the party, who released this statement as well, saying, quote, "We will vigorously pursue any and all options available to us to overturn this ruling and end this recount." So here's what's going to be happening in the various counties. Here in Oakland County, the counting is beginning now. Teams are moving in. Those are two-person teams, one Republican, one Democrat or Green Party member, who will be following the counting process along with veteran poll workers. 75 precincts will be counted at one time. They've got 1,000 precincts that they must go through, more than 670,000 ballots. Wayne County today, ballots are arriving. They will begin training and counting at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Again, 75 two-person teams, more than 800,000 ballots to be counted, including absentee votes. In Macomb County, they get underway at 8:30 Tuesday. They will be counting 30 two-person teams there to count 424,000 ballots. Coming back to me live now, there you see John Parrish and Gary Gordon. They are the attorneys for the Trump campaign who did not get the decision that they wanted in the federal district court. They are here to oversee these things. They are telling me that they've got teams right now looking at the options that could be the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals at the federal level. At the same time, they will be making oral arguments in the Court of Appeals up in Lansing, the Michigan Court of Appeals, 4 p.m. tomorrow to try to block this recount under the grounds that she is not an aggrieved candidate. We are live from Waterford. I'm Guy Gordon, Local 4. Back to you.
to do in a short period of time, Guy. Thank you. A new week brings new developments in the transition work of President-elect Donald Trump. Today, Trump nominated Dr. Ben Carson, a native Detroiter, to become Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Dr. Carson releasing a statement on his Twitter page saying that he is honored to take the position. There is also word that Donald Trump is expanding his list of candidates for Secretary of State, and after criticism from China for a phone call with the president of Taiwan, Trump posted a Twitter message criticizing China's economic policies. The vice president-elect, or I should say the vice president-elect, also wants to put the matter into perspective.
I think I would just say to our counterparts in China that this was a moment of courtesy.
Tweeted the best tweets. I mean, wow, what a great...
Meanwhile, the president-elect also took to Twitter to blast Saturday Night Live's latest skit about him. He calls the show biased and unwatchable, and yet seems to keep watching. For the very latest information and announcements surrounding President-elect Trump's transition to the White House, you can head to our website at clickondetroit.com. Meanwhile, a weekend fire that ripped through a warehouse in Oakland, California has now killed 36 people, with the death toll still expected to rise as they continue to sift through the rubble. Police have now activated a criminal investigation to figure out why dozens of people were actually living in a warehouse that was not permitted for housing. Structural concerns put the search on hold in the tragic warehouse fire.
We will not put our firefighters in danger at this point, and we will not put Alameda County Sheriff in that precarious situation with us.
Fire officials are confident, however, they have figured out where the deadly fire started.
We now feel very strongly that we have the section of the building that was the area of origin of where the fire started.
Firefighters spent the weekend sifting through ash and debris, in some places 10 feet deep.
We've had to deliver a lot of bad news to people.
Officials expecting the death toll to rise. This is what's left of the warehouse called the Ghost Ship, home to dozens of artists living in conditions cluttered with wood furniture and a makeshift pallet staircase, all with no permit for residential living. The fire department said that the building didn't have sprinkling systems or smoke alarms either. The fire started in the back of the building while nearly 100 people were listening to a DJ play music.
I looked down the hallway and I saw 15-foot flames and what appeared to be a fireball coming towards me.
The building's owner tells NBC News that he was unaware that anyone was living inside. With the work stoppage on the ground, the investigation into what led up to this tragedy continues. So far, police have identified 11 victims, some of them as young as 17. Officials are now taking DNA samples and working to identify the countless other victims, a process that could take several more weeks. Former Michigan State basketball star Mateen Cleaves is back in court today for day 5 of a hearing that will determine whether or not he'll go to trial for rape. He is accused of sexually assaulting a woman at a motel after a golf event last year. Today, a sergeant who responded to the scene testified in court and admitted that he left details out of the incident report.
So your report that you generated was entirely from memory 5 days later, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the report you made left out details, correct?
It's a synopsis, yes.
So the question is, sir, did you leave out details?
Yes.
The preliminary exam is still going on right now, so we'll give you the very latest on everything that happens in court today on Local 4 News, first at 4 and also at 5 o'clock. A cool and cloudy start to the day after some late night snow. Made for a kind of pretty view last night anyway. Brandon, how are we looking for the rest of the day today?
Well, you know, it is cloudy and cool, as you mentioned, and the warmest that we're going to get today. We've got, or this week rather, we've got temperatures near 40 degrees, urban heat island effect, a little closer to Detroit, Wayne County, from Metro to Grosse Ile to City Airport at 40, 37 in Pontiac, 38 in Ann Arbor, it's 39 in Lapeer, 39 in Harrow, Ontario. And the winds right now anywhere between about 6 miles an hour and 12 miles an hour. And so it feels like low 30s as you're heading out. It again is manageable and the warmest of the air that we will likely get this week. So get out there and enjoy it. 40 degrees right now to 41 at 2 o'clock and only moving up to about 42 degrees. But we do see a little bit of sunshine trying to break through. Best day of the week. We have at least the chance for a little rain coming your way tomorrow. You see it down here pouring out of the Gulf of Mexico, heading in our direction. The models are a little bit split on how this is going to come into the area, and then we'll also talk about some cold air that will pour in for the rest of the week. All of that straight ahead. If you want to get ahead of the game, you can head right now to the weather tab of clickondetroit.com. Your 4-zone weather, your neighborhood weather is right there. Rhonda.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Still ahead on Local 4 News at noon. History in the making. The head of a nation coming to the United States as we mark the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. But first, a new report shows regarding the Trump administration, the president-elect now looking to drastically change U.S. policy regarding Native American land. Why Trump says the changes will benefit both the tribes and the nation. We'll be right back.
Hey, I want to show you these Facebook posts that I just confirmed were actually made by the Board of Education Vice President for the Roseville Community Schools, Alfredo Francesconi. And there are a lot of people who are very offended by these. They say they are biased, they are racist, they slam Muslims and blacks. That's what a lot of people are telling us. He told me that he saw these posts, he liked them, he agreed with them, he reposted them. But what does everybody else say in Roseville? It's a story I'm working on for today at 4, on First at 4.
Welcome back, everybody. A Farmington doctor is facing charges of having inappropriate contact with a female patient. That unidentified patient alleges that Dr. Elazar Manye, he tried to kiss her during an examination in his Farmington office. She says that the doctor tried to kiss her on the lips, but when she turned her head, he kissed her on the neck. She ran from the office, and a DNA sample from her neck matched DNA from Dr. Manye, who is free on bond with a court appearance scheduled for late January. Thousands of protesters set off fireworks in celebration last night after the federal government ruled against the construction of that Dakota Access Pipeline, although the fight may still be far from over. Despite the good news, the company building the pipeline says that they have no plans for rerouting and still accept the pipeline expected to be completed. Despite the company's hard stance, the Army Corps of Engineers says that it will do a full environmental study to consider alternate routes. Meanwhile, a new report from Reuters News Service says that advisors to President-elect Donald Trump are proposing the privatizing lands on Indian reservations to drill for oil and natural gas. Indian tribes do not own reservation lands, but they have the right to determine how that land is used. Trump advisors say that their plan would benefit the Indian tribes while advancing a plan to deregulate the energy industry. Some Indian leaders support the proposal, but many others are strongly against it. This week marks the 75th anniversary of the Japanese attack on the American naval fleet at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. A Japanese prime minister will make an historic gesture to mark the anniversary. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, he will conduct meetings later this month, I should say, with President Obama in Hawaii. At that time, he will become the first Japanese prime minister to visit Pearl Harbor with the president. Abe says that the visit will underscore the opposition to war and his pledge of continued peace between Japan and the United States. Coming up here on Local 4 News at noon, a new study that shows more Americans are driving older vehicles. What's driving this trend and how it could help the Motor City's Big Three. Brandon?
40 degrees outside right now. It's seasonable temperatures around the Great Lakes region right now, but we're going to start tracking some Arctic air in your 7-day. First, some rain on the way. Lots to explain next.
iPads, cell phones, TV. Children are constantly drawn to devices these days. But what are you doing while they're using them?
In 54% of the recordings, we heard no mother-child interaction.
I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Tonight at 11, it's an eye-opening look inside family homes. See what local researchers discovered about parents, kids, and all that technology.
Well, it's Monday. That's it. 40 degrees, cloudy skies. You see the dark clouds over us, starting to get a little sunshine, creating some shadows for us, making it look a little more ominous than it is. Southwest winds at 11, feels like 33, and only really on our way to about 42 degrees. A little bit more peaks of sunshine through the afternoon, but no wall-to-wall sunshine in your Monday forecast. 32 overnight. We will get a break later this evening and overnight with some clearing, which allows our temps to cool down to about freezing overnight. And then an increase again in high clouds coming from this system here. The models are 50-50 on the track of this over the Ohio River Valley, with just a little glancing blow expected mid to late morning tomorrow. And then after that, starting Wednesday, we start tracking some cooler air coming out of the north, and that will be with us especially Thursday through the weekend. It's going to bring just little ripples of light snow, and as we head through the weekend, some lake effect snow showers, some lake effect snow bands, and some of that could stack up a little bit, but a little early to tell with the nature of those storms and where those lake effect snow bands will set up. Here's the model, though, time-wise, 5 p.m. today, and you see some of the clouds, starting to lift. As we look through tomorrow morning, here come some of those high clouds, and south zone, east metro zone tomorrow, mainly east of I-275, the better chance for a little bit of this rain. Yes, it should be rain, maybe a little sleet mixing in, but temperatures above freezing most of the day tomorrow. So we do anticipate, again, a little light rain through the probably 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. time frame tomorrow. And then Wednesday, it's dry, but it is cool. We really start to feel the effects of it on Thursday. And I think, again, Thursday, Friday, and the weekend will be temps mainly in the 20s, wind chills in the teens, and snow showers coming and going. Rhonda?
All right, Brandon, thank you. There is a new reason for auto dealers to say it's a great time to buy a new car. Statistics show that the average car on the road today is nearly 12 years old. The age of cars being driven has gradually grown to now stand at 11.6 years. The factors affecting those numbers include people stretching out their car loans and the overall increase in the reliability and quality of the cars. They last longer. All that is good news for dealers who can attract buyers to new cars with new features. And still ahead, Old St. Nick is trading in his jolly red suit for a hip new look. Find out where you can find this trendy Santa Claus coming up.
Replay song.
Oh, before we go, you have got to see this Santa Claus. This Santa Claus is in Oregon, and he's just not into the whole formality of that red suit.
Well, it's Pacific Northwest, you know. It is a version of Santa wearing black glasses, blue jeans, a sweater, straight out of The Big Lebowski.
And as you can see there on his arms, he has a lot of visible tattoos. He also has some piercings and even a man bun. Oh. And he is currently the resident Santa at Pioneer Mall. This is in Portland, Oregon, and will remain there throughout the Christmas season. I've never been to Portland, so it seems like a pretty cool place.
Yeah, I've got some family out there, a little bit of a kind of a hipster kind of a place.
I guess.
I don't know about trend setting, you know, but
we'll see if it catches on.
A lot of wet weather out there, that's for sure.
All right. Thanks for being us for Local 4 News at noon today. Come back and see us at 4, 5, 6, 11 tomorrow morning and anytime at clickondetroit.com.